Jules. Tonight's question comes from Eleanor, 1983, who writes, why do people say no offense right before they say something offensive? Is that supposed to cancel it out somehow? Or is it just a polite way of loading the cannon?
Humans possess an interesting linguistic device. It is called a warning label. A warning label is a small phrase that appears just before something mildly unpleasant happens. For example, no offense, I'm just being honest. Don't take this the wrong way. These phrases perform a fascinating psychological maneuver. They do not change the sentence that follows. The sentence remains exactly as offensive as it was going to be. What the warning label changes is the speaker's sense of responsibility. Once the label has been applied, the speaker experiences a subtle feeling of moral insulation. They have announced the danger. Therefore, the danger no longer counts as their fault. It is similar to placing a small sign next to a pothole that reads, "Warning, pothole." The pothole is still there. Cars will still hit it. But the person who placed the sign now feels oddly satisfied with the situation. Humans also use warning labels to soften the impact of social risk. Direct criticism is dangerous in cooperative species. It can threaten friendships, alliances, and occasionally Thanksgiving dinner. So humans invented a small conversational helmet. No offense. The phrase attempts to preempt emotional damage. It asks the listener to reinterpret the sentence that follows, not as an attack, but as a form of honest communication. Whether this works depends largely on the listener. Some listeners accept the warning label, others ignore it completely, and occasionally the phrase has the opposite effect. The listener hears no offense and immediately prepares for offense, which, statistically speaking, is usually the correct strategy. Humans, therefore, continue using the phrase, not because it always works, but because it feels like politeness. And humans care a great deal about feeling polite, even when they are about to say something deeply unpolite. People say no offense for the same reason we say brace yourself before bad news. It doesn't remove the impact, but it lets the speaker feel like they tried to install airbags before driving the conversation into a wall.
If you enjoy these tiny philosophical reports, consider subscribing to the channel and joining us on Patreon. It helps the project grow, and it prevents Jules from having to explain human behavior to his plants, which does not seem to help them grow.